Police are continuing to clash with demonstrators. I say protesters. I say paid spies. I say a lot of things. But police are continuing to clash with these people on campus. Check it out.
The temperature this morning on some college campuses reaching a boiling point. A growing number of protests forming over the ongoing war in the Middle East at campuses across the country, some leading to standoffs, including the University of Texas at Austin. Students and police clashing during protests Wednesday. More than 30 were taken into custody.
Did they say reparations? I'm sorry, you know, when I hear reparations, my ears perk up. Did I hear something like we all for reparations? Hold on, let me rewind this really quickly.
Last Wednesday, more than 30 were taken.
I don't know what they said. Sounded like reparations to me. You know, your mind started playing tricks on you. Let's continue.
Into custody. Protesters gathered outside the jail, with some faculty saying in a statement they would not work today. And overnight, police and protesters also clashing at the University of Southern California.
We're going to get into USC. We got a whole segment that's going to be dedicated to that.
Officers hit with objects arrested more than 90 people, though it's unclear how many were students. And back on the East Coast, a dramatic scene at Emerson College, where students are encamped on an alleyway in the middle of downtown Boston. Police and demonstrators facing off. The tensions rising nationwide as reports of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia have skyrocketed since last October, with the Anti-Defamation League and Center for American Islamic Relations each reporting record-high complaints. House Speaker Mike Johnson and other Republican lawmakers at Columbia University Wednesday, where they were shouted at by students. The lawmakers calling on school president Manoush Shafiq to resign over her handling of an encampment where police arrested dozens this week, in which some Jewish students say has become a point of intimidation.
The first responsibility of a university administrator is to keep their students safe.
Mr. Speaker, if you were the president of Columbia University today, what would you do about this tent encampment?
I would immediately bring order to the chaos. If necessary, I would call in the NYPD. I would ask the governor to send in the National Guard.
The Columbia Board of Trustees has expressed its support for President.
I'm going to read Super Chat shortly, y'all.
Saying that she has struck that ever important balance between freedom of speech and also ensuring the safety of Jewish students, making sure that they're not harassed and intimidated on campus. Hoda?
Steph, it seems like every day we're reporting on another campus where these protests are breaking out. So what happens next?
Well, they're here to stay, according to the students I've spoken with here at Columbia. And we were walking around that encampment yesterday, Hoda, and I was struck by how well organized they are. They have a lot of food coming in. They have good tents. The weather is not that bad. They say they are willing to stay here until their demands are met, even if it means weeks. And in just 3 weeks, this campus is going to have its graduation. And it takes place exactly where that tent encampment is set up right now, Hoda.
All right. Stephanie Gosk for us there.
So, like I was telling y'all in the very beginning when this first started popping off, two things before we get to the next story. The first thing is, I told you had to squash this in the very beginning. The minute that you let it spiral out of control, it started getting more visibility, people start feeling empowered, and they start doing what they want to do, it's going to absolutely go all the way left. Next thing you know, you got people setting up tents, and they about to be canceling graduations. They already started canceling some. I'm going to do a whole individual segment with regard to that. That's number one. Number two, I told y'all that this was going to happen and that every 4 years, somehow, some way, we find a way to get distracted by protests and all of this stuff that's happening from the things that's actually meaningful. And it happened during election cycle, during election year. And this is not new. This is not new. I think that the majority of the people that's on these campuses are not students. I think a lot of them are paid. I think a lot of them are being sent there. And I can't prove it, but the fact of the matter is we see this happen on a regular basis, and then all of a sudden it start growing nationwide and campus-wide. Come on, man. I'm not going for that, bro. Anyways, moving on to the next story. So crime is getting worse in Houston. This was sent to me by y'all. Let me check this out.
Morning, neighbors living in Houston's 3rd Ward are sounding off about the growing crime in their area.
They say they have repeatedly asked for help over the years.
Hold on. Somebody said in the chat, they said, what's wrong with protests? Are you pro-Israel, Anton? Let me tell you, because these are not protests. When it goes from a peaceful protest to you breaking the rules, not having permits, throwing stuff and attacking the police, staying out longer than what the rules is calling for, when we get discourse so much to where it turns into chaos, that's not a peaceful protest. That's number one. Number two, I'm pro-America. I'm pro-America. The only time that I even believe remotely that we need to be meddling in other people's businesses or business is if it comes back to benefiting us some way, somehow. Now, I understand that we got to support our allies and all of this other type of stuff, but I'm pro-America. I don't know why y'all think that people supposed to care about what y'all got going on outside of the United States of America. Yes, the world is messed up. Yes, it's a lot of stuff going on, but let me help you to understand something. It's absolutely, we got to get our own house in order before we start meddling in other people's business. You got to get your own house in order before you get and start meddling in other people's business. I can't tell somebody else what to do when my own borders, my own inflation, my own situation is absolutely messed up. So don't sit here and try to talk to me talking about Anton, are you pro this? Or are you, listen, I'm pro Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I'm pro Bag Chasers. I'm pro Millionaire Morning Show. I'm pro Anton Daniels. I'm pro After Hours. I'm pro America. I'm pro Rita. I'm pro my church. I'm pro righteousness. I'm pro Jesus. So that's what I'm pro fattening my pockets and making sure that my people is taken care of in the middle of all of this chaos and this warring that's going on in order for us to make sure that we capitalize and we benefit from all of y'all nonsense. That's what I'm pro. You know what I'm saying? This is nonsense. Anton, are you pro-Israel? Man, get out of my face with that. Talking to me about what am I pro? I'm pro me and I'm pro my people. I'm pro Vanessa. I'm pro Chris James. I'm pro K Cooper. I'm pro Azriel. I'm pro Yakar. I'm pro Kojak. I'm pro Jeremy H. I don't care nothing about all of that stuff, bro. And when you start breaking the rules, I think that it's important for you to enforce it. That's when I'm pro Quentin. Care nothing about all of this other nonsense. I got my own people to worry about. Crime in Houston.
Years, but help never comes. Our Ugochi Loka joins us live right now. And Ugochi, what is Houston police? How are they responding to this?
And Kimberly and Seth, we know right now Chief Troy Fenner says he will dedicate more patrols to the 3rd Ward and says he will spend the overtime for officers assigned there. Now, this comes after a packed town hall meeting last night. Take a look. This is the video of residents there expressing their concerns. The residents of the 3rd Ward shared their frustration with Houston police about the lawlessness they claim has plagued their neighborhoods. KG11 has covered the many recent shootings that neighbors have been complaining about, some happening just in the past few weeks, including multiple homicides that neighbors believe have made their streets more unsafe than ever. The open drug use, they say, has been more frequent now too, and neighbors think having more police around could help.
We want to see police officers sitting there, and we know there are things going on, but we need to see you sitting there.
When the nightclubs get out, that's when they just go buck wild.
Yeah, I can see why they are so upset. We know that neighbors also expressed concerns about repeat offenders as well as short-term rental issues. We'll have more on that coming up in the next hour.
Y'all know Houston ain't nothing but Atlanta, right? Houston is Atlanta light. They almost just as much Atlanta as Atlanta is, because most of the people that's in Atlanta ain't even from Atlanta. All Houston is Atlanta light. That's it. So Houston is having a crime problem. Now the neighbors is complaining about it, and they don't want to tell on Pookie and Ray Ray and tell who it is that got the guns and all of the crime, and they expect the police to just sit there. Nope. Help yourself. We told y'all what was happening. You know what's so funny? And this actually feeds into the next quick hits, is I rode my bike here today from my place, because here in downtown right now, with all of these 500,000 people that then came into the city and stuff like that, It's much easier for me to be able to get around on my bike than it is for me to drive a car. And so, my office is right up the street. It take me less than 5 minutes to get here on my bike. And I decided to take a little bit of a detour. And so I'm riding around and I'm looking and I'm seeing, and boy, I'm going to tell you, there are 4 police officers on 4 to 6 police officers on every single corner in the city. If you look outside of my window when I jump into my apartment over there and you look down, they all in the water. You can see snipers on the roof. They not messing around, boy. And then somebody was telling me that as you walking around, it's just random people that's walking through the crowd that can actually see through. And I guess they doing body scans to make sure that there ain't nobody got nothing on it. Man, you can't go nowhere on no negative time over here. They not messing around. Come over here and try that nonsense if you want to. And I heard that it was a record-breaking attendance for the NFL draft here in Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. Let's get it popping.
There's so many people here in the city. The one thing I've kept hearing today on day one of the draft is people have never seen so many folks in the city of Detroit at one time. Adam Schefter at ESPN says there's 275,000 people in attendance on night one right here. They said that beats the 2018 record back in when it was in, I want to say, Nashville back then. It's huge. People are fired up.
Like pilgrims on a spiritual journey, legions of pro football fans descend upon their sacred city for the coveted ceremony of selection, an NFL draft where their next gridiron god shall ascend to their rightful place amongst the legends of old. And they've even come from overseas. Lauren and Daniel are cheeseheads from Manchester.
Long flight, but we love coming to the States. We managed to get to the Super Bowl in February as well, so we went to Vegas, now Detroit. So
first time in Detroit. This Dallas fan came in all decked out.
It's a little bit cowboy, it's a little bit wrestling, luchador wrestling, and a little bit of the culture, Mexican culture.
The NFL experience has it all, from gigantic helmets repping each franchise to a tent where you can check out some of those iconic Super Bowl rings from over the years.
We just got here a little while ago. We've been walking around. It's been a lot of fun. It's packed, which is awesome. So we're hoping to enjoy the 3 days.
And we found what Lions fans, all of us, have been looking for all these years. Right there, the Vince Lombardi Trophy in all its glory. Oh, yeah.
So this is a dream come true for us. Love it.
But some fans only have their dreams to live the NFL experience through.
So, anyways, long story short, yeah, it's booming. I haven't seen it this busy. It's pretty busy on a regular basis, but I haven't seen it this busy since we hosted the Super Bowl here. I haven't seen it this busy since we hosted the Super Bowl. So it is fun. I'm going to be out in the streets today. I don't think that I'm a live stream on After Hours, but you never know. Turn on your notifications. Make sure you subscribe. I am going to be out in the streets and seeing what's happening, especially since I live right there in the middle of everything. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. And we're just going to continue to have fun. Shout out to the city for continuing to have and put out good energy while all the rest of these cities is going broke and stuff. But we're going to get there shortly.